welcome everybody to the Director's Garage Live. I'm your host and still resident idiot, Michael. And you know, they make these switchers have things that you can do with them. Like write macros. To do something like I could just start the show. I could hit a button that says start the show, and it would launch the music, and it would do the fade at the right time and open my mic for me and do all of this stuff. Yet I still manually do it every week because of my dedication. And idiocy. I'm like, no, I gotta run it manual. I gotta do it all myself. And so, you know, the computer's not hooked up and I'm doing 5 other things. And welcome everybody. Hey, it's a true happy hour. It's a true happy hour, boys and girls, if you're out there. Cheers. What's going on? Well, big response to the Caldera video. I think everybody kind of liked that one. We got a lot of views out of it. That was kind of cool. Already recorded our next episode. That's good. And I'm hard at work around here. Boy, I've done some crazy things. I wish I had that loaded. I don't have it loaded because I didn't have a lot of time to prep today. We're doing it an hour and a half later because I had to go to the hardware store to pick up some Cove molding because we're trying to get the house suddenly in shape to potentially sell it, because there's another house that became available that we really like. But to do it, we got to move this house fast. So the director's garage may be moving garages. But it's all like, will it happen? Who knows? Because if they sell the other house before this house sells, we're out of luck. But I think we've all been through things like this. It's called life, folks. And, well, welcome to it. So I've got that going on. I was in Palm Desert yesterday. We interviewed Pink. And I don't know if, let's see, I could probably get us some photos of this because it airs tonight on Entertainment Tonight. If you check your local listings, yeah, we could do that. Can I send these to the thing? Here's the thing, though. We're playing tennis with her, and she talked about her new record. And let's see, nope, that won't work. Well, it might work. Let's send it to the Mac and see what happens. My phone isn't the greatest. My phone doesn't always send when you try and do airdroppy things. It doesn't always work. So, let's see, let me just show. Hey, here's an easy way to do it. Yeah, it didn't work. Here, we'll do this. Here, guys, Pink from yesterday. Swear to God, it's really her. We interviewed her for a tennis outing, celebrity tennis match. But it was great. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. So I was out there, and my mom's out there. So we were in Palm Desert, and then La Quinta, and then I was out there with my mom. I stayed there overnight. Then I came back in the morning, and the proverbial shit hits the fan because I'm away for a day, and I'm chasing 1,000 things. So yes, we're looking at moving directors' houses. We are looking. I've got the Oscars on Sunday, and we had Pink yesterday, and tomorrow I've got this massive sit-down that I can't even talk about yet, but it's a big deal, and it's a big pain in the ass. So that's coming tomorrow, but it's going to be fun. It'll all be fun. That's with that, and then I recorded the next episode. I haven't done much with it yet, but it's going to be. Let's close. We've got an airplane going overhead. We've got a new episode shot, and it is a major. I flipped the script a little bit, and I was going to do a small unboxing video where I did like a bunch of things like that 7Hz timeless AE, and I have some other things that are in boxes waiting to open. It's going to be a kind of a smaller, faster episode, and then I got this big flagship in, and I'm like, I gotta unbox that. So I'm like, I caved, boys. That's what I'm saying. I caved under the weight of my own desire to hear something new. So that's what happened. So I broke open the something new, and you'll get that next time. But it's cool. It's a flagship. It's good. You're gonna like it, and it's not something I think you're going to expect. It's not like in the lane of what you'll expect. So I think that's kind of fun. And then I have a new Audio 46 box here, which is kind of cool. It'll be fun. Another blind unboxing from our fine friends and semi-sponsor. Sends us stuff. Sends us gear to open. So awesome. So letting people filter in. I know we're on at an odd time. I know this is a little later than normal. You guys are probably either waking up or going to bed or whatever. So yeah, the Timeless AE then will be like 2 episodes down the road. You know, I just bumped up this flagship. I just caved, boys. I just caved. You know, you got something really great and it's sitting, you like, it's super excited to hear it. Yeah, that's what happened. So I caved and I opened up something else. Shameless. But aren't we all kind of guilty of that? You get something, you know, new, you're like, oh, I got to move this up. So that's what I did. So we're going to do the Timeless. It's coming. Timeless AE will come. And I've got a couple other things that I know what's here. I know what's in the box. Kind of. There's some stuff, you know, sometimes I order stuff, like it'll be late at night and I'll be like, you know, looking at like AliExpress, or I'll be looking at Linsol, or I'll be looking at, you know, Audio 46 or whatever, and I'll be like, oh, that looks cool and it's not that expensive, I'll just buy it. And I click and then I forget I bought it because I go to sleep or whatever, and you know, just forget. And then a package arrives and I'm like, what the hell's this? I'm like, well, we'll open it live and then figure out what happened. So good. Sold, you know, last week I revealed on the Monday show, on the Caldera show, that's gone. So we're looking for a new DAC. And I sold the Focal Utopia, the 2020, and it just got to whoever it was today. So hopefully whoever got it, and I can't remember who I sold it to because I've been dealing with too many names lately, sold it to somebody on HeadFi, and it should have gotten there today. And so somebody's enjoying a new, new to them, Focal Utopia 2019 edition. And I threw in the soft case that cost me $135 for free. So, you know, cheers. Make somebody's day. So good. So good. So we've got so that's what's going on here. I don't know if I've got any more. That's a lot of updates. I wish I had the pink photo for you guys, but my AirDrop on this phone, it's an iPhone like 4. It's an iPhone 2001. It's not the best. And the AirDrop is sketch on it. It sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Let's see if it worked. Nope, not at all. Did not work at all. So I can't show it to you. So sorry, guys. But the pink, I know I interviewed Pink yesterday, and it's going to air tonight. It's airing probably in 45 minutes if you're on the East Coast, or it might be on the air now. And then in which case you wouldn't be watching me, you'd be watching that. Very cool lady, by the way, and totally game. We had a lot of fun with her. And I asked her to do some stuff, and she did it, and it came out really funny. And then we got a full interview. And I'm trying to remember. Trustfall is the name of her new record. Trustfall. It's very cool. And so let's see what's going on with you guys. Open. Audio Fool says. Open something else. Howdy, gents. Richard Spector. Howdy. Cheers, everybody. Michael still wants to. Let's see. I'm sure Michael still wants to still keep the surprise, but he's dying to know what other flagship he bought. Yeah, that'll be on the next episode. I'm going to reveal that on the next episode. I don't want to give that quite away yet. That's fun. Give you guys something to look forward to. It's some of it's like, oh, you're just baiting. I'm like, no, it's just kind of fun. Let's have fun. Let's make sure the show is fun. The most important thing we have to do around here is have fun and enjoy just hanging out, shooting the shit. That's the most important thing we got to do. And then let's see what else we got. Oh, am I? I should probably. You guys would have chimed in if my audio's not good. Normally, that's the first thing I'd get is, "Hey, can't hear you, dude." Have not made a decision. Oh, let's go down further, and we'll talk about it in a second. Susvara street price, it was under 4,000, which would get you a Caldera Susvara. With the Susvara street price under 4,000, it's around 4,000. I've seen them go for 42. They're in good shape. They got the box. People are willing to jump up on that a little bit, or you got a special cable with it. which would you get, the Caldera or the Susvara? Personally, it's the Caldera because it's so much easier to drive. It is so much fewer headaches. It's a headphone that you can plug into anything, and it'll give you most of what it can deliver. Susvara, it's just a headache of a headphone to drive well. Look, I know people have complained to me. Look, I've had my Susvara and I plug it in on my Ferrum stack, and it is genius. It's sound gold. It's the best sound I've ever heard, and that's fine. I'm not then good. I'm happy, but the problem is I have another $6,000 headphone sitting right next to it on the shelf over here, and it's called the Audeze 1266. And the Audeze 1266 will light up, I mean positively light up on the Ferrum stack, and it sounds fantastic, even better on the Bakun 13R. All right, a $6,000 amp. I didn't get the Susvara to sound nearly as good as the Audeze until I had the $6,000 amp on it. Whereas the Caldera can be driven by this Cord TT1 up here and sound great. And sound just like you'll get all the basses and you'll get all the trebles and you'll get all the nice details and sparklies and whatever. And yeah, it'll get better if you go up an amp, but it's not like failing to perform and give you that next level with a lesser amp. It gives you can easily drive these things with a far lesser amp and be perfectly happy. So if you've got like a GSX Mini or a small shit stack, you're gonna get most of what that headphone has to offer for like a nice respectable amp. Put it with an iFi Diablo, or put it with it's going to sound real. It's going to give you a lot of what that headphone has to offer. Maybe not everything. Things always scale better when you put better equipment to it. But the point is, the Susvara gives you maybe half of what it has to give when you're not amping it correctly. It's like there's better territory ahead, but you've got to spend a lot of money to get there, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating, and it's a lot of money. Ask JTB. JTB is like my perfect case example. Like, he got so frustrated of jumping amps to drive the Susvara, he eventually just bowed out and said, I'm going to go with something that's easier to drive. And I don't blame him. That's a much more cost-effective way to get really, really good sound. Like 90% of what the Susvara, by just getting an HE-1000 and a nice amp. And I think the Caldera does that too. The Caldera, to my ears, is like, it's a $4,000 headphone that's relatively easy to drive. So my opinion, it's my opinion. Look, sure, somebody out there say his ears are made of waxed filling, whatever. I'm sure somebody will be happy to tell me how I'm wrong in 1,000 ways. Sorry, letting Holly back in. He's kind of indecisive today, and I was gone last night, so he's like extra clingy. So anyway, yeah, I think that it's just, in my opinion, I would get the Caldera. Because it's you get it's the newer design, it's a newer headphone, and it's easier to drive, and it gives you things that the Susvara doesn't. Now, here's where I would say don't bother with the Caldera, and that's if you don't want slam in your music. You don't want to have that slam. You don't want to have that. That punch in the bass, because it delivers on bass. It really delivers on bass. Delivers bass, fantastic. Now I see, then the plane goes over. I gotta shut the door. Now he's gonna get mad that the door's shut. Guys, this is what I go. It's an endless loop. We're in an endless loop here. So in that case, I would, and then detail. Detail 100% is the most important thing you want in a headphone. Then yes, the Susvara is more detailed than the Caldera by far. Not by far. It's more detailed than the Caldera. So if you're looking for the ultimate in detail, fine. go for the Susvara, and go for it if you want to. It's fine. But if you're giving me the choice between the Caldera and the Susvara, I'm going to take the Caldera. I think it looks better. I think it's built better. I think it's easier to drive. I think it gives you better bass and gives you almost the same performance in the other categories. And it gives you a better image too. So there you go. That's my opinion. Audiofool just got his column A last week, and it is amazing. Seriously, definitely worth checking out. I know. I just haven't been sold. Audiofool, and congratulations on the purchase. Awesome. I know it sounds great. Everybody says it sounds great. The only thing that I'm kind of hedging on, and this is a personal thing, and I talked about this last week, is that I'm contemplating buying a DAC that natively decodes MQA. And I know there's that's a beehive of angry people in the MQA box. and I keep like just opening it up to go, it's okay. Slam it shut real quick. It's just because I listen to a lot of Tidal. And I love Tidal. I'm very happy with Tidal. I don't want to change from Tidal. I'm not looking to go to Qobuz. I'm not looking to go... Tidal, call me if you want to, like an endorsement or something. Sponsor the show. So I'm still contemplating getting... My next DAC is going to be able to decode MQA natively. That's one of the things. Now, I may give up on that. I reserve the right to change my mind on anything. Maybe a fantastic deal comes along on a May, and I go that way. Or maybe the Terminator comes along, and it's like, oh my God, this is a deal too good to pass up. Or the Weiss, which is a DAC that is in serious contention. For the Weiss DAC 501. Would be a great fit in here. Great fit. So there's things that I'm still considering and contemplating. I just haven't made up my mind yet. And I want to find a deal. That's the other thing. It's like I'm not going to pay full price. You know me. Just not going to pay full price. So it's going to be used, whatever it is. So something's got to come across my desk. I've got to see an ad somewhere that I think, oh, okay, that's it for me. That's the one I want to do. It's just going to come down to the right deal, right time, all the things, and then I'll make the move. In the meantime, I've got the Macintosh back here, which is very nice. It's a little on the warm side. The sound is much warmer. It's harder to get, used to. I actually had a problem. It'll make sense when you see the next video. I actually had a little bit of an issue with the Macintosh being so warm and so, lush in its tone. And I wound up doing some work off of the cord. And letting the headphone work off the cord a little bit, just to hear the difference and just to experiment. And in some ways, it was like, every now and then you miss the cord stack, the $12,000 retail cord stack occasionally is missed. Imagine that. Guys, we're insane. We're all insane. We're insane for doing this. Why do we do this? JTB, cheers, JTB. It says, don't forget ZMF has a lifetime warranty on the drivers. Yeah, another great point, by the way. And oh, by the way, have any problem, you can pretty much call the owner of the place. It's like the owner of ZMF is a public figure in the headphone world. Like you can pretty much get the guy on the phone or get really close to the guy on the phone. So there's there's that, and service. It's sending it to Chicago and it gets serviced and comes right back to you. There's no like mystery labyrinth of where do I send this headphone and what will happen and how much will they charge and all of that stuff. It's a stand-up company, great products, supreme build. I mean, Yeah, I wish they had the older kind of roughed up Atrium look on them, but still a good looking product, right? Still, and a solid, you know, it's solid. Like it feels like you got something of quality. You paid for that, you know. It's not springy and light, and you know, it's like you feel like you got something, you know. The worst thing in the world. I'll go here. I'll go. All right, fine. I'll say it. When I bought the Stax, and I had the Stax 009S here, unbox it, take it out of the shell, and it was the flimsiest Fisher-Price plastic armature housing I've ever felt. Yeah, I'm sure, yeah, we put our money into the drivers, fine, but don't give me a Tinker Toy, guys. Don't build it around something that feels like it came out of, you know, a Mattel box. I swear to God, like, it was so disappointing. It was like, it's this great thing, but it's so... Holly went out again. So plastic. It's so cheap feeling. It feels like if I stretch these at all, they're just gonna snap. It's like the brittlest plastic. It's horrible. It's so disappointing. And then you get this ZMF that's got this thick head pad on top, double layered with a nice cushy air bump suspension system, thick leather, imprinted stamped ZMF on it, you know, and the logo on the side, and then it's got this beautiful hardware that they've upgraded. Like the first ZMFs were kind of a little more like, it felt like parts. When I got my first Verite, it didn't feel like it was complete. They have worked on their design, on their housings. It's clear. They were like, I think they felt what I felt, like this could be better, you know. And I still knocked them for one small thing on the headphones. The Atrium has it too. I have the Atrium out. The Caldera, I moved the Caldera to a box because it's becoming a crutch headphone. I'm using it too much lately. But it's this little guy right here, this little tab of leather that sticks out. It just pops out. It's unfinished business. Like, this needs a stitch in it, or it needs to be somehow worked into and under the armature so that it's not like doing this. It's like, this is, it's like a Rolls Royce production. I just want it. Don't leave the tab undone. OCD much? Guys, we're having fun today. I swear to God, I really don't want to go start baseboards. I got to do the baseboards in the dining room because I had to tear them out to do the house lifting. The house lifting's done. Got my city approval today. City came out, approved it, said they did good. Yeah, but I got to put the baseboards back in the dining room. We got to do that if we're going to sell, if we're going to move this place. Oh, God. My next month is going to be brutal, and I got to get taxes out. Oh, this is not going to be great. Okay, did you ever try... Oh, let's go back down, make sure I don't miss anybody. So, JTB, yes. True, not everyone likes romance either. Yeah, I know. I'm romantic. ML Jenkins, the joy of cats. He knows my pain. Holly's like a half stray that showed up on our deck. For those of you who don't know the Holly story, Holly showed up on my deck one night just screaming his head off. And was a stray. And we befriended him, let him in, but he hates the other cats, and the other cats hate him. And so we have to keep him separated from the rest of the cats. So our house is this series of doors under which the cats will claw at each other. It's really the worst. Like, we should have just... I don't hear anything. Do you hear anything, dear? No, I don't hear anything. Let's just keep watching the movie. But no, we paid attention to the cat that was screaming his head off and, like, just wanted to be adopted. Then we adopted him. So he's my buddy. He's my buddy. But, boy, something. Okay, so, yes. So let's see. Richard Spector said, did you ever try the Ferrum in power amp mode, where you bypass the volume pot on the Ferrum and give control the volume with a preamp, essentially giving the Ferrum full power. No, I haven't. It's just a lack of time and experimentation. I'd need to get a pair of cables, because you're talking about coming off the back of the Ferrum, like into a pair of leads that would then go into the headphone cable. Am I reading that right, or are you saying something else? Yeah, I would have to do that then, in that case. No, I have not. I haven't tried it that way, to be fair. JTB says, the Caldera versus the Meze Elite in the battle of the 4K headphones. Wow, would that be an interesting... when you said that, JTB, it triggered, like, what are the things I love about the Meze Elite? And I'm like, oh, the Caldera is very close there. And then I thought, but the Caldera does so many things better than the Elite. That would be a fun shootout to do. Got an idea what would win, but I'm not going to say it here. So good, so good. Hey, Shawshank says, cheers, Shawshank. Happy hour. In LA, I know it's much later wherever you guys are at, or much earlier. Unless you're on the West Coast, it's not happy hour anymore. We're into the night. Sorry, I try to do this thing around 3:30, so it's happy hour somewhere on the East Coast. But it doesn't always work out that way. Today it didn't, because I had to go to the hardware store. Richard Spector says, Gustard R26 R2R does MQA and 1-bit DSD with a warm sound, ladder resistors with PCM. Yeah, I've seen good things about the Gustard. I think I'm shooting higher. I'm trying to get into something a little more lofty on the price range, but because I have a lot of money to play with there, because I did sell the whole thing. But I could go cheaper on the DAC and then buy some other headphones. That's also another way I could do it. Sure, but I've looked at it. It's not. I just haven't made. I haven't made a decision yet, and I gotta get a feeling for it. You know what I mean? Hipster Cow says, basically my DAC ranking: number 1, Dana Fripp's Terminator Plus 2. Everybody's getting a lot of recommendations for that. Wells Audio Cypher 2. I have not seen it. The Rockna Wave Dream, the Chord Dave and M Scaler, Hollow May, Nagra Tube. These are all good DACs. And DCS Rossini. Yeah. Well, the DCS Rossini, is that the one that's, no, is that the one that's 25,000? number 8. Ouch. DCS makes some major expensive amps. That ring technology or whatever. Whoo, dog. That's always a possibility too, but I'd have to put some money to it. Always a possibility, boys. It's always just a matter of money and desire and the right deal. Hipster Ka says he's heard them all with amps and headphones he's not that familiar with, but never side by side, so take the ranking with a grain of salt. Hey, buddy, we're all out here shooting the shit. Of course, everybody's got, like, that's the one I would get. You know, that's the one to get. JTB says the Stax Dora the Explorer model. Really. And the cups are nice, boys. The cups had great cups. No, the headphone part of it was really, really nice. Like it was well machined, and you got the beautiful gold stator that you could see, and like you could see there was some quality here, but oh my God, they put it around the thing, and then the ear pads felt like cheapest pleather you've ever felt. They'd make my head sweat, make my ears sweat, because they didn't breathe at all like a natural, fabric or natural skin would or whatever, hide would. Just oh my God, just terrible. Just like, I was it was just the most disappointing thing. And then you see what ZMF is able to do with this stuff, and it's like, God. And I think it's making everybody up the game. And Abyss is a little wonky, but you can tell they're engineered. Like, they engineer the shit out of those headphones. I mean, there's a lot to them. ZMF is a little crazy, though, but I'm sorry, Abyss is a little nutty, but their stuff looks engineered. It looks like somebody spent some time in the design process here. Some of the other brands, maybe not so much. But I think it's making companies like Audeze up their game. Audeze has improved their quality tremendously since as the ZMFs have arrived, and some of these other headphone manufacturers that are putting out good, really high quality products. And look at DCS, Dan Clark. His headphones, the quality of those headphones has jumped by a great deal since, you know, they have to. You have to stay in part. And Meze, you know, Meze has kind of led the way before even Zach had upgraded his hardware and stuff. Meze really I think Meze probably drove all of this move to much better quality product, build quality in their products. So very good, very good. God, it's all good stuff, man. We're just lucky. We're lucky right now that that we're in this era, because it's really, this is like a golden age for headphones. You know, new stuff is coming out all the time. The IEM world is exploding. I mean, it's just so good. We have it so good right now. It's very expensive. It's a problem as they're pushing the prices up. So cheers to Zach for coming out with something at $4,000, by the way. That's that good. You know, awesome. Tommy V says, hello, is anyone I work with into audiophile headphones, IEMs, and gear? No. Is anyone I work with into audiophile? No. Nobody understands my obsession for headphones. I have some guys that appreciate it, but they're not into it at all. They don't collect. They don't, you know, they're not into the different sounds. They appreciate it when I bring one by, and they're like, I got to hear that. Let me hear that. And I let them, and then they're like, holy crow, you know, it's amazing. But they're not into it themselves. I'm like a man on an island. OCD, please tuck it in. He hopes his first CMS is tucked in, or he'll try to do it himself. Yeah, I know, right? Oh man. But look at this, guys. Look at the, so break down just the head pad situation that ZMF has now engineered. These are all like little puffy pockets of air that like, so they absorb, you know, they absorb and spread the weight load around, and then you get this thick, look how thick, I don't know if you can, yeah, you can see it. Look how thick this is. And this is just so your head doesn't touch the many bumps of air pockets on the underside of this is some serious, you know, they put some effort into this. This is solid. Oh man. The Atrium is still the best made headphone I've ever seen. Swear to God. Just unbelievable. What a product. So good. And they got the Atrium closed coming out too. The Atrium closed back. Dying to hear that. I think that'll be great. I could take a break from ZMF though. I got to get into some other things. Just to keep it interesting. Not become the ZMF show. And there are guys who like review ZMF. The ZMF has never sent me anything to review. Like this is all stuff I've bought. I'm such an idiot. Just saw that Atrium. I'm like, I gotta own it. I put my money down. Unbelievable. Never got it. No price breaks. Nothing. I just bought it. Sucker. Richard Spector says, for the Ferrum in power amp mode, there's a switch on the back you rotate, and the volume is essentially full blast, and the knob no longer functions. Oh, so it's like a bypass. Right, but then you need a preamp to definitely... I could do that. I could use the... I mean, wouldn't that be interesting? Use the preamp on the Macintosh, because it's two pre, and a really good one. You know, those guys in Macintosh kind of know how to build some stuff. Somebody once said. I could use that as the pre, and then go through there, and then go through the amp, you know, just use the amp stage on the... That was something I could do. Sure, I could try it. I don't know. I gotta have time. I mean, I'm short on time right now, but yeah, that would totally work. That would totally work. I could do that. I could even use... No, I can't, because it's not here. Never mind. I was going to say something about the cord, but I couldn't do it. That cord drives my Genelec, so it's kind of like it's in that realm. I'll use it. Once in a while I'll try a headphone on it, but I'm like it's dedicated to the to my Genelec output. Doesn't do anything else. Just sits there and drives my Genelecs. Not the worst thing you could have for a Genelec, by the way. A nice chord pre. For the Ferrum, so we did that. JTB recently just sold his Gestard R26 and got the A26. So you went from, is the R the R2R JTB, and then the A is a ladder DAC from Gestard? How does it, just refresh my memory so I don't have to like look it up and try and dive in. I'm like, that's what I think it is, right? But you know, great stuff. I just am like, what made you? And by the way, while you're at it, JTB, what made you do the move? I'm curious. What made you jump DACs like that? What did you gain? What did you do it? CanJam NYC 2023 is huge. Tommy V said, yeah, and I saw a little bit. I caught like 10 minutes of Zeos did a thing where he walked around and before I got nauseous and wanted to barf. I love Zeos' show, but man, I'm like the first person thing, it just gets whoa at some point. Oh, my COVID results are in. I had the COVID test today for the Oscars. Yay, I gotta send that in. There's like an app. It's a whole thing. So yeah, it was huge. Yeah, and anyway, he was walking around a little bit, and I saw like 10 minutes, and then I started like just kind of skipping to see if there's anything, because I'm impatient. And I think he uploaded like an hour long. It was like, oh my god, no, I couldn't. I just can't. So I just skipped a little bit. It looked big. I wish I could have gone, but just no way. Not right now. The wrong timing. And CanJam will be in LA in the fall, and I hope I get to make this one. The last one I missed, as you guys know, I'm really disappointed. I went the year before. Not as many people knew me. But I walked around. I had a Director's Garage t-shirt on, and I got a couple of people said, hey, I know somebody who saw your show once, you know, something like that. You know, I was such a wiener. Too funny, but I was a geek. But that was when I heard that the last CanJam I went to was the one with the LCD-5. It's the first look at the LCD-5, first look at the Carbon, which I was like, I can't believe nobody's listening to this because this thing is amazing. That line was like just almost nobody in the line for the Carbon, and everybody's lining up for the LCD-5, and I'm like, y'all missed something. And that was the one that I heard. I think that was the one that I heard the HE1 at. No, maybe it was the year before I heard the HE1. I don't remember. Guys, it's all you get over 50 and it just things start fuzzing up. Time is short and so am I. You know, you do your best. You take your best shot. The Klinger 111. Cheers, Klinger 111. We cheers everybody who's new or looks new. And I don't recall your name. It's happy hour somewhere. This hobby is literally a disease. Not more than 1 month into owning, and Hi-Fi Man Arya Stealth, he feels like he must own some ZMFs. You know. It's the curse. You got it, bud. Such a curse. This hobby is such a curse. Good God, what are we doing? Yeah, I know. It's just never ends. It never ends. And you got the Arya Stealth. So I'm like, well, you know, that HE-1000 Stealth is right above it. I've heard some things. Just saying, you don't want them. Yes, you do. Ferrum power amp mode apparently really drives this as far to the max, according to owners on Headfi. Okay, I believe it. My experience just driving it with the amp as is, like out of the normal ports, is it doesn't drive them to the max. It doesn't get them close. But if you're doing it that way, maybe it would. Yeah, okay. That would be great. It would be a great, you know. Don't need a Bakun 13R sitting there. I love that Bakun though. Like the Bakun has made me go, I don't know if I need the Ferrum stack anymore. It's still here, but like if somebody really wanted it and like offered me a good price for it, a reasonable price for it, yeah, I'd send it off. I think at this point, I love the Bakun. That Bakun is an amazing sounding amplifier. They really got some shit right on that amp. It's special. It's special. There's always a jump, and the main thing is like it's a quiet amp. Like when sound goes away, it's like there's good separation. It's really amazing stuff. It's I mean, it should be. It's $6,000, guys. $6,000 amp. You know, yeah, it's twice the cost of the of the Ferrum stack. Not to say the Ferrum stack is bad. I've enjoyed the Ferrum stack, and I still use it I still use them all. But you know, I have less of a need for it right now, given my personal setup. What I have a need for is a DAC. Get on it, cowboy. Get it out there, soldier. Find yourself a DAC. Too good. JTB, yeah, the R is the R2R, and Delta Sigma is the A. So the A26 has more detail punch and slam, which works better for his music genres. Metalhead. No, just kidding. Hard rock type stuff. Yeah, the R26 is great, but it's a little more laid back. Yeah. It's like they call it, somebody used this term the other day and I kind of called him out for it. It's musical. I've used that before, but I'm like, they were using it as an insult, like it's musical, it's nice, it's musical. I'm like, that's what a thing to say to somebody. You know, somebody puts all this time, this R&D into a product. It's musical. Whatever. Okay. Thanks. Thanks for playing. This is something I read somewhere and I commented. I made a little, like, hey, let the guy, you know, let the guy enjoy. It was, you know what it was somebody was on one of the headphone groups and chimed in saying, I just bought the Meze Empyrean and I just really love them. I really think they're great. And two guys chimed in right away and told him what an idiotic purchase that was, and like how, you know, you don't even know what you're hearing, and you don't know what you're doing. Why would you buy that garbage headphone and this and that? And I'm like, wait a minute. You know, I'm like, first of all, the guy's excited because he just got, you know, one of his first super high-end headphones, and he got a deal on an Empyrean, which, by the way, sounds pretty damn good. Is it a little bit technically challenged compared to other things? Yeah, it's a little technically challenged. It doesn't have the detail of some of the other headphones in its price range. It still sounds great, and it's a comfort monster. Like, it is a great pair of headphones to kick back with. And you know, if I made a trade for mine for an amp, but I was like, there's nothing wrong with that headphone. It's a great headphone to kick back and listen to songs on and bring with you and stuff. Like, and to sit there and just tell somebody they just wasted their money. Come on, man. Come on. You know, it's not like when you get a head, you know, something like that, and you put it on the first time you listen to it, you're not going to go, ew, that's horrible. How terrible. You know, it sounds like record scratching and demon bats screaming from within a cave. You know, like, I can't believe what it did to my Mahler. You know, whatever. Like, come on, it's a good headphone. Is it like everything to ever? No, but you know, you don't have to poop on the guy for trying something new and getting excited about the headphone he bought. Jeez, I'm like, it's a pretty good headphone and damn comfortable and a good buy. Like, and you'll get a great deal on one now. They're under $2,000 for this brand new $3,000 headphone. So, you know, give guys a break, you know, let him be excited about his purchase, for God's sakes. I just commented, like, I think it's a nice, smooth headphone that stitches together music really well. And I think it's a good purchase. Good for you, man. Enjoy your headphone. Everybody else is like, you shouldn't have bought that. I run with a hard crowd sometime, maybe. Some of these guys can be mean. I'm like, dudes, God, why does it got to be like that? Why does it got to be, it's all or nothing? No, it can be in the middle, dude. John Marino, say cheers. John Marino's. He knows the Caldera is technically a better headphone, but he ended up pulling the trigger on the Atrium instead. He added to his collection. Looks alone. John, you're a man after my soul, man. This is... I don't know if I could bring myself to sell this because I just enjoy holding them and wearing them so much. Yeah, the Atrium does things better, no question, but these are a nice, they have a different quality to them. These are a darker headphone. It's a darker headphone that, like, it sounds good with old 70s rock and stuff. Like, it's a great headphone. I enjoy that headphone a lot. I think it's great. I think it's a great headphone anyway. I don't care what anybody says. I'll have my Atrium and like it, people. Have you watched DMS's headphone cockpit at CanJam? No, I haven't seen it. Woodstock G, wait until you're 70. Hit the like button, folks. I may be 70 before we get 100 likes on this show. It's not that far away, boys. When you start thinking about it, God, somebody did this whole thing, you know, they said, well, you know, 1980, MTV debuted closer to the start of World War II than to today. And I'm like, oh boy, you know. And then when I look at it, I'm like, wow, 70 just seems so old. And I'm like, it's only 15 years from now, guys. And the last 15 years have gone like that. So live your lives. I'm telling you. Time, it's time for a TED Talk. Let's have a little TED Talk here. Time accelerates as you get older. You may not understand this if you're in your 30s or in your 20s and watching this. Time accelerates. Your 20s will take your teens took forever. It took forever to go from 10 years old to 20 years old. And your 20s took a really long time. Your 30s go pretty fast. Your 40s fly by. I'm halfway through my 50s and I'm like, wait a minute, I just turned 40 yesterday. Time accelerates as you get older. So plan for that and enjoy your life. Go out and do things that you really want to do now. Don't go into debt to do them. Don't be dumb. This wise old man. Don't go into debt to do this stuff. But try to get those experiences in because your life goes much faster than you realize. And the last 10 years, the last 10, 15 years, like that, I'm telling you, you blink and you're through your 40s. It's amazing. It's startling and amazing. Life is fleeting. Get out there and enjoy, you know, that's one of the main reasons I did this show is so we could have a place to come get together, have a few laughs, enjoy ourselves, not cut on each other for buying something. Laugh at me for buying something dumb. Who cares? Who cares? Life is short. I wanted to experience it. I wanted to find out what it was about. You think it's a dumb headphone to buy, the HD-820? How much grief have I taken on the HD-820? I don't care. I've enjoyed the HD-820. I don't care. I like it. It's a nice headphone. It's fun to look at. Looks like Star Wars in a box. How cool is that? And it sounds really goofy, and I love it. Definitely, guys. Just enjoy. We started this show to have a place to have some fun. Hopefully, we get a bunch of viewers together. Hopefully, we get a bunch of subscribers together, and people start shoving money at the show and headphones at the show, and I give them all away. That's what I want to do. Just to have a place for us to have some fun and spread the joy of listening to music and talking about music and headphones. That's what we're here for. So that's my TED Talk. Now go about your day. Enjoy the rest of happy hour. Cheers, everybody. I hope we're getting drunk. I should have been drunk when I gave that talk. It would have been better. All right. Isoparametrics. Nice Caldera review. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Now it makes me want one. Yeah. You're not going to be upset when you hear it. I promise you won't be upset. You're not going to go, wow, that was a waste of money. And buy one that's cool, and then take pictures and show it off on this show. Good luck on the DAC search. Yes, I know. Curious about the spring hollow stuff too. Yep. Looked at it. There's one for sale on Headfire right now. Believe me, I'm watching. Just not. I haven't said yes yet. The shit Yiggy. Yeah, there's a thing with that. Look at this. Guess who wants to come in again? Whoop. Hey, buddy. Wow. Hope you heard that. That was classic Howley. My knock against the Yiggy is the same one that it was. Yggdrasil, the same one that it was 5 years ago. It doesn't decode DSD. And I love DSD, and I'm like, you've got to give me a native DSD DAC. That's important to me. That is non-negotiable. And almost every DAC today, the new DACs decode DSD. Maybe shit has an upgrade on it. I don't know, but it did not at the time, and to my knowledge, still does not natively decode DSD. It has to convert, and I'm like, this thing, the Mac back here, the beautiful blue. Watch this. Look how sexy that is, boys. So good. I mean, I never got Mac until I owned one. Then I was like, oh my God, this thing's amazing. The big blue meat. Oh, dude. Ha, ha, ha. But it decodes DSD native. Just feed it DSD. Does it. Sounds great. Just awesome. So yeah, that was my knock against. That's my only knock against the Yggdrasil. If I'm pronouncing it right. I think I am. For once. Yeah, so we're good. I mean, I'm looking to stuff. I'm looking at all the stuff, all the things, boys. There are too many jerks in this hobby. Yeah, you know, they're nice folks too. So, we just got to stick together. Just keep those of us together who are just enthusiasts. I'm like, people have bought stuff, Ace of Spades and Adnan and Ferozi, and like, you know, they tell us the stuff. It's like, I'm thrilled that somebody got something new and they're into it. It sounds great. It's awesome. I don't care. Everybody has different hearing. We don't all hear the same thing. So, you know, fine. Atrium versus Empyrean for layback listening. Oh, good question. Good question, William. God, you guys have got them today. Wow, I don't know. You know, and I don't own... Polly went back out. In with the cat, out with the cat. Never ends. Oh, boy. Boys, what do you think? What do you think? Atrium or Empyrean for laid-back listening? Wow, I could go either way on that. I really could. Atrium's maybe the Empyrean's maybe a little bit easier to drive. It really takes almost no power to drive those things and line them up. I love the bass on both. Empyrean has a little better sub. Atrium is faster, got better impact. Maybe better impact. You forget that Empyrean just dominates the bass. It gets a little muddy down there. I don't know. Maybe the Atrium. Maybe the Atrium because it's such a great damn build. But the Empyrean is so comfortable. Whew. That's a tough call, guys. That's a tough call. That is tough. That is tough. Empyrean's $1,000 less right now, too, used. Atrium is selling it. I've seen them for 22, I think. Somebody's selling one for 2,200. Pretty good deal. 400 off. Wow. I don't know if I got the answer on that one. I got to think about it. Immediately I'd say, well, for laid back, the Empyrean is so comfortable. Get the wide thing going on. So easy to drive. You can drive them with your DAP player. That's really attractive. But then the Atrium's got better speed. It's got that build, that just solid build. The Atriums are more fun to hold. Like the Empyreans are just, this just feels great. Yeah, I'd probably go with the Atrium. Why not? I mean, nobody's going to die by this decision. Nobody's actually going to listen to it either. So I'll say Atrium. I'm going to go with Atrium. Final answer. Great Stones track. Yeah, time is on my side. Yeah, time is not on your side. Time waits for no one. Woodstock G can't remember his teens. Where's the purple haze? So good. God, Hendrix, man. And it's hard to believe, like when I was growing up, and like I was into music and stuff, the Beatles weren't even 10 years broken up yet. And I remember Sgt. Pepper turning 10 years old. It was 1977. I was into Star Wars, and I remember Pepper at 10. I remember we didn't have like the media, but I was a Rolling Stone magazine fan back then, and used to read that whenever I could. But I remember like Pepper turning. I remember, Jimi Hendrix was dead 8 years when I was like. By the time I finally found his music, I was into different stuff when I was younger. I didn't have taste yet. I wasn't like always a music aficionado, but I loved music. So I just had to find the right things, find what my lanes were. So good, man. Okay, so let's go down through that. Yeah, but it's amazing. Like I can remember that. Like I can remember it seeming like, they must have been so great when the Beatles were together, because I was only like 2, 3 when they broke up. So I was like, I certainly don't remember that. But I remember listening to Sgt. Pepper as a kid, and like it was one of those albums. I just loved that album. My God. Listen to Iron Maiden before you die. Greetings, says Ace of Spades. Buy an Audio Note UK DAC 2.1 signature. Never heard of it. I'd have to look it up. But thanks for the recommendation. Always, I'll look at it. I can tell you this: telling me to buy it is probably the easiest way to get me not to buy it. I hate to be told what to do. I'm obstinate, boys. You should know that by watching this show. But and it's funny. I just love people spending money for me. You need to. You don't own a real DAC until you own this. I had some people tell me that too. It's really funny. But I'll check it out. Audio Note. Okay. Gary K, any thoughts on aluminum versus magnesium with ZMF? I've gone with the aluminum on all my builds. I have not gone with the magnesium. I don't feel like it's not something that you feel like, it's not something I necessarily notice. I guess I don't know, and then this is copper. I think this was a copper build because they had to do the dingy thing to it. Yeah, I would say aluminum. Save the money. I don't see any, unless you're really into it and you really want the magnesium. I don't think you get that much. I don't feel... If they want to impress me, offer me tucked versus untucked. Okay. Are you willing to pay $100 extra if we tuck this in for you? Yes, I am. Am I willing to pay $100 or $200 to go up to a magnesium? No, I'm not. But I will pay you $100 if you can tuck this in for me. I'll send the headphone back to you just so you can tuck it in. That matters. So Gary, yes, that's I buy aluminum, but try and get him to tuck it for you. Do you prefer new old stock or old? Or are you talking about oversampling or non-oversampling? Sorry, that'll affect how you choose your DAC. I like to have oversampling as an option, but I want to be able to turn it off. Sorry. No, NOS to me, because I'm so old, means new old stock. So when you buy tubes, you can buy NOS tubes, or you can just buy regular tubes that have been used. So new old stock means like they've got a pair of 1957 GZ34s that have been sitting on a shelf since 1957 in their box. And you can buy, there are people who sell this shit. Very expensive way to go on tubes, but you can buy NOS. So oversampling or non-oversampling. Well, I've done the oversampling like with the upscaling M scaler and stuff. So I like having the option to do that. I also like to be able to turn it off, and because there were tracks that I needed to turn it off on the M scaler. So yes, it wouldn't be bad to have, but I don't know if it's a deal breaker. Holomay has a dedicated R2R ladder just for DSD. Yeah, great. They do not do MQA though, so it's still, we'll see. We'll see, boys. It's not the end of the world decision either. Holomay may have a digital filters even in non-oversampling mode. I don't know. And some of these DACs and the Holomay is not one of them, but there's headphone paths and circuitry for headphones, and then there's circuitry for the generic output of the back of the DAC, and not all of the filters are available to all of the outputs on it, so it gets a little confusing in there too. I was reading some stuff and I'm like, oh, that doesn't make sense, but it kind of does. Yeah, you don't always get that. Lampesator Amber 3 for sale right now. He's at 2.4. It's been listed for quite some time. Yeah, I've been looking at all of them, man. I just haven't felt like that's the one. You know, that's the direction I want to go. And it's kind of fun to look at it all, to be honest with you, and look at what comes up and look at, you know, and envision it. It's not a decision that I'm eager to make. It's a decision that I want to savor and make it last. JTB says, yeah, magnesium is lighter. Yes, that's true. Not by much, but it is lighter. It's not tremendous. It's not like a pound lighter. It's just like, it's a little bit lighter. And if you hit magnesium on concrete, it'll spark. Does that affect your decision at all? Just saying. Impacts on magnesium are fun. You ever see a magnesium rim on asphalt? Man, it's because quite a show, boys. Too fun. Hey, Kevin Jacques says, all this talk of buying stuff, while he's been watching this, he just pulled the trigger on an HE-1000 BT stove. I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry. This show is not good for your wallet. God, check your credit cards at the door, boys. Don't you know? You don't bring the credit cards into the into the audio whorehouse. You leave your credit card at the front desk with your shoes and your shoelaces. Jesus, where are we? 10-4 JTB significant though. Yeah, I don't think it's that significant. Ace of Spades just bought an Audio-Technica ADK-5000 last night. Quite excited to add a new headphone to this stable. Yeah, and I got something coming that's going to be really good, and that's in the next episode that I'm excited to show off. If you guys weren't here at the top of the show, I have a brand new headphone purchase. I was going to do, the next episode was going to be unboxing a lot of small things. Like I was going to finally open and unwrap the 7 Hertz Timeless AE, which I've been dying to hear, because I hear that it's got significant bass improvement, which, as the bass whore I am, absolutely, always a good thing. And then I have some other odds and end boxes, but then this new box came in as a flagship, and I'm like, nope, bumping that episode. I'm going in a different direction. Just when you think you're going to zig, he zags. That's how I am. So I wound up changing it up, and I'm doing the big headphone next. They're going to have a good, big flagship in the next episode. I should have held off, but I'm like, and the other thing is these are, these episodes get so hard to get out at the moment because of all these other things going on. So I'm trying to keep it interesting for you guys too on the big episodes. But I love doing the live stream. It's so fun. This Hangout is great. Technica, yes, I know. Isoparametrics, he just looks for the most expensive things and say Michael should buy it. That's what people, I swear that must be what people do on some level. Like, oh yeah, Michael, the HE1 is the way to go, brother. It was at CanJam and everybody was raving about it. Great. I'll just, we won't get the house. Jeez. Richard Specker says, don't buy, he's using that reverse psychology. Don't buy the Gestard R26. Yeah, and by the way, JTB, why wouldn't you, if you're going to get rid of it, you should have sold it to me. Wow, William N says, some say magnesium ZMF is too soft. It's prone to scratches. It is a softer metal. It's also a more brittle metal. It'll actually break in certain circumstances, but it's not bad. It's fine. It's just what you want, and I'm like, I don't see the need for the magnesium. Doesn't bring joy to my life. So it's over the aluminum. What brings joy to my life is things like tucked flaps. That brings joy to my life. But it is lighter, so that's good. 100% chance Zio suggests blue tack to fix the ZMF tucking issue. I'll take your word for it. But it needs to, the thing is even if you glued this, it wouldn't be the same. It needs to be finished. It needs to curve under with a stitch, or it needs an elegant solution, because everything on this headphone is elegant. And the Caldera too. It's just so elegant. And I'm like, you can't get it. You went 98 yards and you didn't celebrate with a big score. Get the big score, boys. Tuck it in. Finish it. You know, it's like getting into a Bentley and you see like a stray piece of leather hanging over the, like, no, it's a Bentley, guys. Think like that. Not good enough. Send it back. Too great. Get some tongue sole round plates. I have them. I have tongue sole round plates. That's what's in my WA5LE, by the way. By the by. I have tongue sole round plate, beautiful drivers. JTB says, Ace of Spades, nice. It's always been curious about them. Oh, that's the Audio Technica. Yep. Good headphone. Good headphone. Thanks for those. Those bands appear untucked on their side photos. Those bands appear untucked on their side photos on the site. Oh, on the site photos. Yeah, I know. I just want them to fix it, man. Just fix it. Just please, for the love of God, fix it. They're killing it. I'm just like, don't leave that little flap. Don't leave it hanging out there. Fix it. William N says, another endgame headphone, the final D8000 Pro Limited. Well, that's an endgame headphone for sure. I haven't heard it though, and it's not what I bought. So, oh well. But that's a headphone that's been on the shortlist for a very long time. Not the final Pro Limited, but the D8000 Final Pro has been on my shortlist. I don't know if I'm. How much are you getting for that extra limited? People said they've heard differences in the tonality of it, and I'm like, I think you're paying for like a darker, you know, like the different manufacturing. I don't know that are they really changing anything on that? Are they really? Prove it. I don't know. JTB says, Kevin Jacques, he's had new HE1000 V2 Stealth for a few weeks now. Really good. Basically as detailed as the HE1000 SE with better bass, and it costs $1,500 less. And JTB knows you will never in 1,000 years get me to say anything but praise for the HE1000 V2 without the stealth magnets. And with the stealth magnets, I'm sure it's even better. That is one of my favorite headphones of all time. So is this. This is one of my favorite headphones. I've got a few that I think are just like on that. Like that was a moment. That was an audiophile moment when that HE1000 V2 came out. Because it like they did the HE1000 V1 and I bought that. That HE1000 V2 cured every single complaint anybody ever had about the HE1000. And in one fell swoop. They went, fine. It's a year later. Bam, here you go. Now shut up and enjoy it. And I did. That's what HiFiman said. Shut up and enjoy it. Yeah, the HE1000 V1, if you remember, like the laminate, the wood that was on the outer band of the cup, that used to come out because the glue wasn't of a right adhesion something or other, and the glue would give way, and the wood would gradually start separating from the metal structure, and it would people were complaining about that, and then people were having issues with the jacks on it. And HiFiman, to their credit, they beefed up those jacks, they fixed the cup material, and stellar headphone. Just one of the best headphones of all time, and the stealth magnet just improves on it. Such a great purchase at $2,000. I would never like tell anybody like that's a bad idea to buy that headphone, the HE-1000 V2. The LCD-4, as I mentioned in the last episode, is I think the greatest used value. If you're looking for a used headphone and you don't own that headphone, that's the best, in my opinion, that's the best buy on the market. $2,000 and you get all that tech, just all that great bass, that great sound, fast as hell driver, holds up with the best bass of any headphone out there, and just massive enjoyment. A little on the heavy side, so what? And you plug them in, put them on, and enjoy your night, because you're in for a good ride. What a great headphone. So enjoyable for that money. Okay, so, Jay, did we get to this? Did we do this? What did we do last? Best bass. It's HiFiman competing with itself. Yeah, really. I agree. Ace Spade says he has to wait for director for a sale. Oh, if he has to wait for a director to sell it, it would be 2024. What am I selling? I forgot. What am I selling again? Let me know. JTB had a HE-1000 V2 and sold them over ZMF November. Been missing them ever since. Yeah, it's a great headphone. It's a great headphone. Period. He bought a Felix Echo Mark II last week. Excited to hear with tubes. I haven't heard any Felix stuff, but I hear a lot of praise for it, man. That's a good one. That's a good one. Probably a good purchase there. What price point would you say starts putting you into diminishing returns of headphone sound? $1. All right. To serious answer, but it's serious. $1. Once you spend $1, it's going to start diminishing pretty damn quick. I think it depends on your comfort level. For me, that number, because you could make the argument that, hey, the Sundara or the HD-660 V2 might be that price point. Because, once you get to that, it does start to, that's a hi-fi headphone. For me, I would say it's the Aria Stealth Magnet Edition for new headphones. That's like where you start getting less of an improvement. And then I would say beyond that, but for me, the best value, bang for the buck, is at $2,000, because you get that HE-1000 V2 Stealth Magnet, and you can buy a used LCD-4. So much at the $2,000, especially in the used market. That's where the diminishing returns are. I think you really start feeling it. The jump from that LCD-4 to the Caldera whatever it's not as great as you think. It's a good jump, and you get a lot for the money, but that's 2,000 is the sweet spot for me. Best bang for the buck. But yeah, diminishing returns, I think it kicks in at that Aria Stealth Magnet Edition, which is at $1,200 now. And just a few months ago, that was $1,800 headphone. Jeez. Unbelievable. So cool. So cool. You can buy something that good for just over $1,000. Very cool. But I also remember when the HD-800 was $1,600, and everybody went, whoa! And I bought them used for $800. So happy. Okay, moving on. We'll get the last few in here, and then we'll call it a night, I got to go do baseboards, boys. Baseboards are awaiting. Any update on my reel-to-reel? I'm going to do some reel-to-reel stuff coming very shortly, William. I've got some stuff coming in that I want to show off. And I'm going to leave it at that. But I've got some stuff coming that is going to be really cool. We're going to do some reel-to-reel. I still listen to it. I, of course, pull it out. I don't have time all the time for reel-to-reel. A lot of times it's just, hey, let's put up something. But and I'm using digital. But I love the reel-to-reel. I love the sound. The reel-to-reel sound there's nothing like it. It's the best, most pure sound available. JTB, are you liking the A26 DAC better than the 3G T DAC? Is that the Burson 3GT? Magnesium shell can be used as an improved fire starter in case of emergency. Yes, it may. You just knock it hard. It'll... hey, Michael, sorry I'm late. Rodrigo. Cheers, Rodrigo. Welcome to a late happy hour. I started late today, by the way. JTB likes the Gestard A28 a lot, A26 a lot. He has it paired with the Burson Soloist and the Lyre 3 hybrid tube amp with Lokius tone control between them. Really good synergy. He sold the Conductor 3GT, yeah. Which is a pretty good solid state headphone, by the way. Nephilim says, dear God, I finally catch some Michael chat. Hi, everyone. So, Caldera, anyone? Wow. Getting great reviews. Got good review by me, I would say. I would say that's a pretty positive review. I don't know if they'll ever quote me. I don't have enough viewers, but maybe someday I'll be a quote, boys. Director's Garage. It's really good. Director's Garage says, it's really good. It's super cool, guys. Director's Garage. On the little, the little thing in the ad when they do that, when they quote somebody. I've never been quoted. Nobody will quote. I'm not quotable. Icebearmetric says he needs Cryptos to go up to the moon. He's executing on today's shopping list. Yes. Are you going into the cryptocurrency, boys? Is that what we're doing? Are we selling some, what are they? The non-fungible tokens? Hipster Cow says, since we are all throwing our opinions on how Michael ought to spend his money, I'll say he should sell all my headphones, damps, acts, and buy the Avant-Garde Acoustics Trio speakers. I got the loudspeakers. This is the cool thing, though. If this house thing happens, which we're trying, that's why I got to go do baseboards. We're trying to sell the house. And then we get this next house. I'm going to have, like, a space, boys. A space for, like, all my shit, including my floor-standing speakers. Like, I'm going to have a room that'll be like the studio. Like, a room of the house will be the studio. So we're really hoping that this pays off, but it's your guess is as good as mine if we're going to get it. It's a crapshoot because it's like we got to sell this place. That place still has to be available. Blah, 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 blah. But we're going to try. We're going to go for it. Again, life's too short. What are we talking about? JTB says, Hayes Goody tried some of the Summit headphones and quickly retreated back to the mid-fi range. He'd say the 2000 is about right. I agree with him. There's nothing wrong with that. I jump into the higher end stuff here. To be honest, I'll be totally shameless because it gets better views. Somebody asked me, why don't you go back and do, why don't you do $100 headphones and, review some stuff that the rest of us can afford. And I'm like, I'm not opposed to doing that, but people got to watch it. It's like I need numbers, and people don't watch those episodes. Like they just don't. Like you can look at the total views on stuff. It's like I don't want to do television. I don't want to do a show that only I'll get 50 views. I want to do something that 1,000 people will watch. That 2,000 people will watch because it grows the channel. So I'm like I'm so young. I'm like doing stuff that nobody wants to see is not a good way to get more viewers. People want to see the fireworks. They tune in when I unbox the Susvara, and they tuned in like crazy when I did the Caldera, and they tuned in like crazy when I did the Abyss. Like, they want to see the big headphones. That's what people are interested in. And they'll be, oh yeah, you know, they want to see me spend $3,000 on something. Okay, I'll do it, but then try and sell it, please. Get some money back so I can buy something else. Still got some stuff for sale, though, in the Director's Garage sale down below. There's some things down there. I might lower the price on a few things just to see if we can get them to move. I'm having serious thoughts about moving the Susvara now. I'm not sure I have another chapter to write with the Susvara at this point. It might be the next headphone that really goes. I'm debating. I haven't made the final decision yet, but that's one of them that may go soon. And I probably should unload one of the Audezes. I don't know which one, though. And I'm holding off on unloading the Carbon because I'm still thinking about trying a solid state amp with it. So maybe, you know, maybe the Blue Hawaii amp goes. I don't know. Somebody was looking for one the other day on HeadFi. I could get rid of that. I don't know. So many options. I need time to think, and I can't think right now because I got too much going on in the rest of my life. The part that, you know, pays the bills and keeps the wife happy and keeps me happily married. Those are important things, guys. Very important things. But I agree with JTB. The 2000 price point is the place to go. JTB was going to buy the Soloist GT, but choosing to save for a Bliss now. The feedback is too positive to resist. It is, yeah. So a lot of people are saying great things about the Hollow Bliss. Nephilim says he can say the best headphones for $1,300 goes to amp shut off. It's got an auto timer. Because it's a Macintosh, it does everything. 1300 goes to the LCD-XC. I have them. You can't beat them, not for that cash. I have a pair of those. I haven't spent enough time with them because I need to EQ them because they're a little on the bright side for my taste, Nephilim. That's my one knock on the LCD-XC. They have great technicals. There's a lot to love about them, especially for a closed back. Might be one of the best closed backs in the business. But you have to EQ them a bit to get that. They're a little edgy on the bright side, and I'm very sensitive to bright headphones. So that's why I struggled with, you know, a bunch of headphones, whatever. All good. JTB wants to hear some high-end stuff. Hayes wants to listen to some high-end stuff. It's been a while since he's had anything. Most expensive thing he's had is $400. Nothing special, in my opinion. You can get some great headphones for $400. Go out and find that. There's somebody was selling a Fostex, the TH-X00. Somebody had a TH-X00 for sale for about $400 in mahogany. Fantastic value. Great sounding headphone. It'll make you want something better, but it's a great headphone. It's fun to listen to. Love that headphone. Still have it. Still have the Ebonies. I got the Ebonies for sale. Got a little nick on the cup, though, so I think people aren't so happy about having a nick on one of the cups. But you get to hear a great headphone. Great technical headphone. Even better technicals than the mahogany TH-X00, but for less money. I think that's all this stuff is in the Director's Garage sale down below. Anything I'm selling. And I'll drop some prices. I'll do a price drop one of these days. Soon. Soon, boys. Soon. Next up. What are we doing? He's seen the LCD-X going for $700 to $900 used. Yes. I've seen them as low as $700. I think I had mine listed at $750. I don't know. Check the below. Check the below stuff. I don't know what I had them listed for, but they're a deal. I'm not looking to get rich. I lose money on everything, guys. You should know that by now. Hayes Goody says he did get to listen to the Audeze LCD-4Z, and he wasn't impressed. He heard it on a Cord Dave. Dave's a good DAC, little brighter. The amp is the important part of that question for the 4, but the 4Z is the one that's supposed to be easier to drive. I don't know. I didn't spend time with the 4Z. The 4 is a phenomenal headphone, and it's even better at $2,000. Like, boys, find yourself a $2,000 4, and you're in for one hell of a fun ride. One negative to the Burson Solos GT and Conductor 3Gs is they are big, and they need a fan to keep them cool, which makes them nervous. And they need to, and preferably they need to be stand upright. I've had a number of Burson products in the past. The one thing I would say that's positive about them is they're built like a frickin' tank. They're built like nobody's business. Burson knows how to build stuff. They have that sort of woo audio quality, but in a solid state form. So really good. NFTs to audio gear program, non-fungible. I agree. My NF, the new NFT 2000. They're not real, but listen to them. So great. Do $1,000 low-end reviews, problem solved. Yeah, except, like I said, the more I spend on a headphone, the better the views go. That's the truth. I have empirical data that tells me what people want to see, because they break it down. Even my higher end IE, I tend to do more over ears than IEMs because people tune in for over ears over IEMs. However, people will tune in for the high end IEMs. It's all breaks. YouTube tells you stuff you never wanted to know. So I know exactly where the crowd is. I know where the crowd comes for. I just try to give it to them every now and then. Come on, boys. We're trying to grow a channel here. Because we have like 23 people watch it today. Oh well. It was a late start. You never know what's going to happen. Last few, and then we're gonna go, boys. I gotta call it a night. Hayes Goody, don't do it. A lot of the top of the line stuff will disappoint you, and once you start, it becomes a drug addiction. And I'm like a pusher. So sorry, guys. I'm your pusher. Seriously considering the Shure 1200 E-Stat IEMs. I think this would be a great fit for his CAN source. He got the spendy bug like Michael. Yeah, I would encourage you to look at the 1500 though, which I might sell you. I can offer. The 1500 has the EQ built into the pack, whereas the 1200 has no EQ on it. So make sure that whatever you're plugging it into can seriously EQ, because you got to boost the bass on it. And the bass, the pack, because you need an energizer to power the E-Stat Shures. They need an energizer just like any electrostat does. It's a true E-Stat IEM in an IEM, and they're amazing. Aspects of those are just amazing. They're super clear, really great for an IEM. And but on the pack, you can tune them a little bit. They have a loudness mode. They have custom EQs. You can build your own EQ, and that's critical because you need to push the bass up on those, or it's really a thin situation. I listen to them in the loudness mode as if we're playing something quiet, and that makes them nice. Doesn't make them perfect, but it makes them nice. So I would push people to the 1500 over the 1200 because you do get that EQ mode on it. You're able to use that. So just know that if you go in, you don't get the EQ on the 1200. You got to buy the KSE 1500. Nephilim 81 Michael, it's the 2,000 to 4,000 range of the upper mids where the LCD XC struggle. They can be a bit harsh on some recordings. I agree with me here as well. Yeah, I think you just need to play with that a little bit, and I haven't had enough time with them. I put them on, and they are brightish, and until I have time to really spend some time with them and tune them in a little bit, there are other headphones that don't give me that harshness, like the Meze Lyric, which I like. And the Meze Lyric gives you all that thump down low too, because it's the Renaro driver. Fantastic. Hipster Cow says the Audeze 4Z and MX4 are really disappointing in comparison to the LCD4. I don't know about really disappointing. I mean, it's degrees, but the LCD4 is a rewarding experience, period. It's just a great headphone. I was so disappointed in myself for not listening to those sooner in my headphone journey. it was a lot of wasted time that I could have been enjoying the LCD4 goodness. And yes, it's worth, as JTB points out, it's head breaking weight. Yes, it's a lot. It's a lot on your head. It's not that bad. I mean, I'm built pretty good. I mean, I can take a lot. I can take it, kids. I can take a punch. I can take it on the chin. Last few. Hayes Goody Michael, his $400 headphone is the Fostex Mahogany. Thinks his issue is the DAC amp combo. Very digital, harsh, grainy sounding, very fatiguing. Oh, I love my Fostex Mahogany. It's one of my favorite headphones. Like, they're fun. They're fun and they're bassy and they're great. Try them with some different sources. Maybe you just don't have a combo that's working for them. I love that headphone. I absolutely love that headphone. I think you've got a great thing on your hands there. Just give them some time and try some different pairings, because I've listened to them out of the cord. They're fantastic. Granted, this is not a cheap thing, but I've used them out of this. I have this. I can't show it to you because of the way it's all set up. But I have a Mackie Big Knob, which is it's a pro audio thing that I used for volume levels in the studio here, and it's very dusty right now. It just collects dust, but it's one of these pieces that's forever on in my studio, because I'm always doing stuff, and the Mackie Big Knob drives my Genelex. It's the potentiometer for my Genelex. It's a little dirty right now too. I can hear like, but give them a shot. Give them a fair shot. I think that's one of. I still think it's one of the best headphones under $1,000. And if it's not to your, well, just listen. I'm not even going to go that far. Give them, but work with them a little bit. I swear it's there. The sound is there. They have. You can. The worst thing I can say about them is that they're a little slow through the mids, but boy, they just sound great. I just think that is one of the knockout steal of the century headphones. Give it a fair shot. You may not like the bass. The bass clobbers you. They're bass head headphones without question, and that's what I found in the Ebony. The Ebony version was much tighter in the bass. It didn't give you that overflow bass. I just thought they were so fun. Listen to a movie with them, enjoy them. But yeah, and maybe it's just not the sound for you, and that's okay too. But they're one of my favorite headphones of all time, and one of the best things that ever came out that we were able to buy, because it was basically, it turned out being the TH-900 in a very affordable product. The TH-900, like, it totally obliterated the sales of that TH-900 for Fostex, and that's why Fostex never re-upped that deal. Like, as soon as that deal was over, they're like, we're out of here. We're like, come on, you want to make more? No. No, you killed our TH-X900 sales with your $450 headphone, and we're very happy to go our own way now. And they've never been able to, they never made them again. But they're great, in my opinion. A great hangout, Kevin Jock, and thanks for coming by, everybody. We don't have to agree on everything, and that's okay. Just know that. We're here to have a good time and share our thoughts and our experiences. My experience with that headphone was, it's one of my favorite of all time. Great hangout today. Are the MM500s a baby LCD-5 in my opinion? I don't know. I haven't heard the MM500s. Lastly, Michael, go with the original D8000 over the Pro once you decide to venture into that can. All right. We'll see what we can do. We'll see what happens. I've heard a bunch of things. I've heard. We'll get into it another time. That's a longer discussion. JTB, time to get to the baseboards. Yes, I'm gonna start the outro music. Start that outro music. TH-X00 sounded better maybe on a little tube amp, and that one of the things I drove them with that was fantastic was that Little Woo Audio WA6, the little amp that could put a nice tube in it. What a great time. Cheers, everybody. Great hangout. See you guys soon. New episode next week. Next week we'll have a new episode with a full-blown unboxing. We're getting into unboxing mode on the show. I got a bunch of unboxings to do in a row, and that's one of them, and it's going to be a flagship. Tune in for that. I hope you guys enjoy it. Have a great rest of your week. We'll try to come back. I may have to tear this studio apart a little bit for this, if we're going to do some real estate showing. But thanks for stopping by. I always enjoy spending time with you guys. You guys are the best, and it's always a joy to do this and hear your thoughts and read your thoughts and all that stuff. So have a great night, and we'll see you before you know it. I swear.